Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I'm going to be sharing a flip through of my Hobonichi and also talking a little bit more about my planning system. So I started this in January of this year and it's working just really well for me. So this is my monthly calendar section. And in here I've got all the things that I've been working on or doing throughout the course of the month. And I set my 3 top goals in the top here. And then either put in deadlines or just a quick note of what I've been working on each day. And I've also just popped something else in here. I've got some deadlines coming up and I wanted them all in one place. So I've just glued those, used a bit of washi on those to keep them at the fronts to make sure that I don't miss any of those deadlines. Because I've got them all in my calendar, but I just wanted them in one place in date order to make sure I'm working on everything in the right order. And behind those sections, I've then got my monthly calendars. So this is how March is looking so far. I'm filming this on the 28th, so I've got a couple of days left to go, but nearly there. And at the beginning of the month, again, I write down all of my deadlines that are coming up, and then I start trying to schedule in when I'm going to fit in all my other work of things that I either want to get done or perhaps projects I'm working on for other people. So very work focused, but I do also put things like workouts in here to make sure that I'm doing plenty of those as well, staying on top of my health and fitness and any other personal things I want to work on too. And this is how I've set it up for April so far. And I've just put down some things I know that I've got coming up, and then once I get to the end of March, anything from there that I haven't finished, I'll move over into this column here, and then I'll start planning that out on when I hope to do it throughout the month. And for these stickers, I use my Patreon printables, and this is washi tape from London Gifties. So behind those monthly sections, we've got the weeklies. So I'll share with you the ones that I've completed during March. So again, here I just write down in this column everything I'm hoping to get done during the course of that week. And that is predominantly work tasks, but I do also put in things here again like workouts, personal development, and any other bits I perhaps want to get done around the home. And this is then where I start really kind of getting into the nitty-gritty, if you like, of what I want to do each day and roughly what sort of time, because I've got a time ladder running down the left of each column. And then anything that I'm able to do, I tick those off. And then at the beginning, when I set up for the new week, I look for anything along here, which I haven't been able to do. And I also go back to my monthly task list to see if there's anything else I can pick off there to plan into that week. And that system just works so well for me, so that I hope then by the end of the month, I've got through the majority of the tasks that I'd wanted to do. I don't always get through all of them, but that's fine. I then just carry those over to the next month. So I don't use all of this space because it goes on until 3 in the morning, but I still find it really useful for just getting a general feel for how I want each of those days to go. And this is the week that we're on at the moment. And I'll tend to set up for the following week at some point over the weekend. So then my March daily pages. Again, this is from my Patreon printables, and these images are cut from London Gifties tape. Again, they're printables, and I like to have some sort of quote or decoration each day. I really enjoy being able to have as much space as I want or need. If I wanted to, I could follow those tasks all the way down to the bottom of the page. Fortunately, I haven't got as busy as needing to do that just yet. And then I tend to reflect a little bit on how the day's gone. Did I get everything done that I wanted to? Are there priorities that have needed to change? How am I feeling? So just a quick check-in at the end of every day. And then little notes like, yay, it's done. That's when I'd finally finished doing all of the work on Teachable. I have shared a video here about leaving Skillshare. That had been so much work, so just a little celebration in here. And I like to play around with a combination of different watercolours, printables. Here I use some watercolour pencil. I'm also really enjoying using different coloured inks and putting new inks in my fountain pens or using other writing pens just to bring lots of colour. Because I often have lots I need to do. I find, maybe it's just the way I work, but if my pages look more attractive, I find the tasks slightly less overwhelming. I don't particularly know why that is, but I'm always looking forward to opening up my planner every day and just slowly working through the things that I've got planned out. And I really enjoy reflecting kind of the change in seasons as we were sort of heading towards spring, bringing in lots of florals and pretty pastel colours. And at the weekends, I tend to have less on my to-do list and just reflect really on what I'm doing to properly recharge and rest. So I've been using this format now, say, since January, and I really feel that it's helped me to get kind of more productive. I'm really on top of everything that I need to get done, but I don't have to spend very long setting everything up, which has been a huge bonus for me. I can just play around and add a few creative bits in the evening. And this is when my daughter came home for the weekend. We've just celebrated Mother's Day here in the UK, and she took me out for a lovely cream tea, so it's great to be able to document that in here too. And again, I have a little calendar, a sort of time log here, and I just roughly plot out for the day what I'm hoping to be working on at each time. And that helps to keep me on track. If I've spent longer than I'd planned on something, I know that because I know that I should be working on something else. So it just helps me to learn how long these tasks are actually taking me. So nearly at the end of the March pages. Here I reflected on the Sunday just gone. I spent a huge amount of the day working on a jigsaw puzzle my daughter had bought me, and I am the sort of person that can feel a bit guilty if I'm not doing things and being productive. So that was a reminder to myself that it's absolutely fine to take that time and enjoy wasting that time. Okay, so that's what I'm up to in March so far. And for April, I've just put in the cover page from the new Patreon printables, and I'll set all this up a little bit closer to the time. Behind there, I've got my MD notebook by Midori. And in here, again, I set up for the new month, but I just keep it really simple. So I was using the printables, and then I've got my gratitude page, my be proud page, followed by my mood tracker for the month and my habit tracker. And then the final thing I have in there is just my master task list of, in an ideal world, everything that I'd like to be working on for journal with purpose, social media posts, HR work and personal tasks. And that I have set up already for April. So for other planning that I do, I've got a few different inserts that I use. Both of these covers were from Start Bay notebooks. I get asked about them a lot, but unfortunately they're not doing covers anymore, so I'm really pleased to have them. So at the front, I've got my health and well-being insert. And it's quite personal, so I won't share with you all the details, but this is what I do on every week, is I write out my breakfast, lunch, dinners and snacks for each day. then whether I've taken my vitamins and what exercise I've done that day. Then at the end of the week, I do a review on how well I've looked after myself, and then just a few kind of key stats to do with weights, blood pressure, and things like that that I want to keep track of during this year. Behind that, I have my Patreon insert. So this is just a monthly calendar where I keep track of what I'm sharing throughout the month. I try and share something every day from Monday to Friday, and I have key things that I offer as part of the different membership tiers. So I record those down at the bottom and then plan those out through the month. And then at the back here, I've got content requests and ideas. So where any of my patrons have asked me for particular printable bundles or tutorials, videos, anything like that, I pop those down here so that I can work through those. And then also challenge ideas, because each month we do a different creative challenge. And this month at the moment we're working on a quotes collection. I'm using my little A6 Stalogy for this, and I've really enjoyed working on this throughout the month. So what I might do is perhaps share this, a quick flip through of that as a YouTube short, so just one of the little mini videos as a flip through. And I asked my patrons for ideas. I'm so excited about next month's challenge, and Samantha over there recommended a kind of treasure hunt for our journals. I'm just so excited to get started on that, and hopefully when I've created a few pages again, I'll share some of that on YouTube. Finally, I have my content planner. So this is for content everywhere, really except Patreon, which I keep separate. So ideas I've had of things I'd like to share, my YouTube log of when I filmed and released different videos, and my blog, which is becoming more important to me. I don't know if you're on Instagram, but it's really hard there for people to even be able to see a lot of people's posts anymore, the way things have changed, which is fine, but that's just meant I want to spend more time doing more detailed blog posts. So some of the photos I might have shared on Instagram, I'll probably bring those into longer form blog posts. So that's something that I want to work on more this year. I also try and release a new free printable over on my blog every month. I've managed to do that every month so far this year, so I've just got some ideas there of different free printables I'd like to work on. Then I've got some online classes I'd like to film for Teachable. I've got some other projects at the moment I'm working on as collaborations, but as soon as they're done, which should be in the next couple of weeks, this is what I'm going to be focusing a lot of my time on. And then at the end of that, I've just kind of got my monthly stats that I fill out on all the different platforms. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed seeing that, and it gives you a good idea as to how I plan and set up all of the different tasks. I often get asked about how I seem to get so much done. It's all down to planning, I have to say, and then trying to stay just focused as possible throughout the day. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. I hope you're doing really well. Thank you ever so much for watching. I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.